He's a clinical exercise physiologist who has helped Tyler Perry, LL Cool J, and Mario Lopez get fit. Jimmy Pena is also a New York Times bestselling author, and his latest book, Pray Fit, helps grow both your fitness and your faith. Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Before we start the show, can we just talk about what was it like working with Mario Lopez?
That's what we really want to know.
LL Cool J.
Right out of the gate.
Yes, we have to know.
That's what we really want to know.
Are you responsible
for
Mario?
Mario?
How he looks? Or?
Yeah, they made me look like a genius, right? No, it's great. I'm really blessed. I'm helping some really great people, some awesome projects. So, but yes, I'm responsible for it.
Okay, nice.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
Well, you heard us talking at the beginning of the show about just the lengths that we will go to deal with our growing waistlines. So tell us, and try not to be too brutally honest, but is there any quick
Don't
fix?
get too personal here, but yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting hearing about the pacemaker for your stomach. I'd rather talk about the peacemaker for your stomach, because truly, there is a way. If we make health, you know, important in our lives and a balance, you know, we don't need quick fixes. Really, I mean, I come from the land where fads are made, and really, you know, diets don't work. People work, you know.
Yeah.
So the reason fads don't really kind of stand the test is because people don't learn anything from them. That's the key. If you don't learn what foods do to your body, they're not gonna last. So it's really about learning what all kinds of foods, how they help you, how they make you more energetic, and that's the key. Putting yourself in a position to wake up stronger, go to bed, sleep well, and move. We have to start moving. We're not motivated enough. I mean, obesity in across the world, especially in the United States, where I come from, it's so bad. It's something that we see, yet we don't yet really feel inside. So that's important.
Well, your book is Pray Fit, and to me it kind of seems, I don't want to say like an oxymoron, but I would never think pray and fitness together. I really wouldn't. And so how does that work, and how do you even start thinking that, you know, as you're working out, you pray, or before or after, and does that really help?
Or can I just pray?
Can we just pray and not fit, and not do any fitness?
I wish, but you know what? We're not doing either as much as we probably should. You know, but you know, to answer your question, Pray Fit is basically just a resource, just a place to, you know, develop habits, spending some time reading God's Word, getting motivated, and then doing something that you enjoy. I'm asked all the time, what's the best thing for me to do to get into shape? And it's really, the answer is simple. It's whatever you enjoy doing. It's whatever you'll do. Because I could tell you, hey, listen, go and do cross-country skiing. But if it's not something that you enjoy, if it's not practical or feasible, it's the worst advice a physiologist from Mario Lopez could tell you. It's whatever you'll enjoy doing. People will work at what they like to play at. So we need to start having fun again. You know, and this book in specific is just a body weight only at-home plan that doesn't take very long, because it's using your body as resistance is pretty tough. Even though the exercises are pretty simple, the key is to take it, you know, to the max every day, which doesn't, like I said, doesn't take long. But doing your best in a few minutes a day can change your life.
When I was looking through this book, there's a lot of retraining your mind, the way you think about things, the way you approach things. I mean, it seems that's almost where it starts.
Yeah, you got to make those small battles, those small decisions, really. And it can be the smallest of things that make the biggest difference. Truly, you know, if you were to ask me, hey, what can someone do like right now to make a change? It would be, you know what? Turn the television off 10 minutes earlier than you normally would, and go outside and take a walk with your spouse or your significant other, your friends, your kids. You know, push away from the table just a few minutes earlier, you know, as a means of saying, hey, listen, I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my life. I'm not going to overindulge. I'm going to make small decisions that are going to make a big impact. And if you do that day in, day out, you start creating those habits. You start feeling a little better. The weight comes off. The blood pressure comes down. You start feeling, you know, better about yourself. And then you're able to serve one another better, serve God better. You know, it all is going to change when you take those little baby steps.
Now, I'm someone, though, that I like to see results. I like, if I'm going to put my hand to something and work hard at something, I got to see results. So a little bit every day, but I want to see the results right away as well.
No, those little things every day, they will actually make very good change. In fact, the PRAFIT plan that I discuss in this book is called the density principle, meaning more work in less time.
What I appreciated as well is that it's not just about the fitness, right? It's not about the crunches, or it's really about a spiritual journey that you go on attached to getting fit.
Yeah, you know, like C.S. Lewis said, you know, you don't have souls, you are souls. You have bodies, you know. So it's really about taking care of the body that carries what's going to last. So that's what PRAFIT's. PRAFIT is just a blend of balance. We give the relative proportion of importance that the physical needs in combination with what's most important.
And it's easy, because as I was looking through the book, you've got pictures to show exactly how to do things. You actually have a journal. It's a journal of checking off what you've done. You've got verses, and then you, at the back, you have a really great nutrition for the week of the food. Because for me, I get overwhelmed about the eating part. Like, because I like comfort food. I like carbs. I like, you know, sometimes craft dinner, you know, when I'm feeling like, And this is like, you know, your food choices are like yummy. So it's not like I have to cut out all the stuff that I love. And your exercise are pretty simple. It's not something that that overwhelms me as well, doing all these crazy things at the gym. So it is accessible for a lot of people. It's not something that like a, you know, superstar, you know, can only pay for. These are things you can just do in your home.
I wish I could have recorded that, because that was perfect. Can I bottle you up?
Give you a testimonial with Mario Lopez.
Yes, please.
If you bring him, she'll bring a testimonial with Mario, for sure.
Can you imagine? You would die, wouldn't you?
I would.
Just die. No, but no, thank you for pointing that out, because we have to embrace food, and all kinds of food. Healthy carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are the body's preferred fuel source of fuel. So we should really learn to embrace them, learn to put them to better use than being afraid of them. So good carbs, good fats, good proteins, and sensible plans. And this particular diet is full of combinations that you can put together and enjoy, and they're simple. You know, simple recipes. You know, PRAFIT.com. We have a new recipe every week. You know, so it's really phenomenal. And yes, the body weight plan, the workout, simple exercises. They're difficult, especially because you know, when you work with just your body weight, you never want to put a number. Say, I'm going to just do 10 of these. No, your goal is your best, because it's not going to take long to find that number. You know, the body weight's pretty difficult to manipulate. There are a lot of gizmos and gadgets right now, you know, on the market or in the gyms or whatnot. But we have yet to master our own body weight as resistance. And that's what's so cool about PRAFIT. Simple exercises, doing your best, and then every week we introduce new exercises. You create a new little baseline for the week, and you have to beat yesterday's marks. So it's kind of a cool concept. Yeah.
Well, you know, you were talking before the show, and you were saying this is not about losing weight necessarily. It's not that you're against it, and it's not a diet per se. So what is wrong with losing weight or being on a diet?
Well, there's really nothing wrong with obviously losing weight. If weight loss happens, great, because you know, if blood pressure comes down, awesome. Those are just byproducts of obedience. You know, we do need to shrink. We all, as a country, as a world, we need to shrink the waistline. You know, and that's not necessarily, you know, perfection is not the goal. It's not a better set of biceps. You know, it's just a healthier version of who we were really meant and designed to be. You know, and when we start making those small decisions, yeah, we might get toner arms and flatter stomach, which is great. You know, all those, you know, obesity-related diseases are going to come down. Kids hopefully will be more active. You know, but it's not until we make those tough decisions that any of that's going to happen.
Well, you said tough decisions. It's interesting. I was just reading a study this week. I think the link between those who are in debt and obesity. And I think there is a link there, because it's like, you know, debt is often about living beyond your means. Well, you know, we eat beyond our means. Like the quantities of food and you know, just and how much we eat and what we eat, it's beyond what our bodies actually need, or what sort of energy outputs we need to have.
Absolutely. We eat more than we need. We're taking in more fuel. Like you say, I just read another statistic that, you know, those who overeat or who are obese, we obviously the fuel costs for transportation, you know, goes up. You know, so everything is related. It's completely related. So there's so many things society-wide that can improve if we all just take better care of ourselves. It's amazing.
So what's the balance? Because you don't want to be obsessive about your weight and weight loss too? Because I know there's on the other side, there's people that are really extreme, and we've seen in those extremes people wanting to be too thin to fit into the stereotype of beauty. But then there's the other part of being obese. Like what would you say is sort of the good, healthy place to be? Especially as a woman, because we're all about body and how we look and all the media images and things that come at us, but to be in the good place, what would you say?
Yeah, you know, that's really when we need to spend time on our knees, really making sure that our motives are good, our heart's in the right place, making sure that we're in it for the right, for the right reasons. You know, it's a quick little story, but talking about that balance of perspective, I've been, in some really awesome places in LA and the jobs that I've had, and I was actually in an office setting, in fact, I love telling this story, but I was talking, editing an article, and I saw the founder of bodybuilding and fitness, Joe Weider, come out of his office one night, and he's bent over using a walker, and he walks right in front of a statue of himself in his prime, and his chin was up and chest was up, and he walks right in front of it, and it's really late at night, his palatial office, and I see him walk in front of that, and it dawned on me as I sit back, and I thought, you know what, life's not about the body. It's really not about the body. Here I am in this fitness industry, holding great titles, working with celebrities, that y'all love and adore and keep thinking about as I sit here.
How did you know? Wait a second. Oh.
But it's not about the body. So we need to pull that back. We need to pull back the whole perfection, but at the same time, those of us who have neglected it just because, hey, listen, it's really about what's on the inside. It's true. We need to melt those two things together and find that happy medium.
Well, you said it before, peacemaker. We don't need pacemakers, we need peacemakers. And I think for so many people, and myself included, like that whole thing can often be a struggle. And we need peace. We need peace in our lives. Where does that fit? How do you get that?
Well, I mean, truly, with our faith first, when we truly, I mean, we can probably all say we're at our best when we've put, our faith first, truly. And then everything kind of falls into place. We have better relationships when we put faith first. We have, better on-the-job, associations. Our health starts, when we have what's most important first, everything else starts to have a different paradigm to it. And the same thing kind of happens with what we're eating. It's very difficult to say, listen, I'm gonna do good for God, I'm gonna be faithful, and yet we overindulge in this area. We have to start thinking, you know what? Our health can be a means of praise. We pray, we can praise with our money, or we can praise with our time, but we've yet to kind of step over the line where we say, you know what? These bodies are gifts. How am I taking care of it? Am I using it the best way? Am I using it as a means of praise? And you know what? If that's the case, what kind of sacrifices am I making? Am I willing to make with my time, with my energy, with my food? What kind of an example am I making? So, no, it's a balance we all need to find, and that peace that we need to seek. The peace.